I Am That. Talks with Sri Nisargadatta Maharaj. Chapter 24. God is the all-doer, the Jnani, a non-doer. God is the all-doer, the Jnani is a non-doer. God himself does not say, I am doing all. To him, things happen by their own nature. To the Jnani, all is done by God. He sees no difference between God and nature. Questioner. Some Mahatmas, enlightened beings, maintain that the world is neither an accident nor a play of God, but the result and expression of a mighty plan of work aimed at awakening and developing consciousness throughout the universe. From lifeless to life, from unconsciousness to consciousness, from dullness to bright intelligence, from misapprehension to clarity, that is the direction in which the world moves ceaselessly and relentlessly. Of course, there are moments of rest and apparent darkness when the universe seems to be dormant. But the rest comes to an end and the framework on consciousness is resumed. From our point of view, the world is a valley of tears, a place to escape from as soon as possible and by every possible means. To enlightened beings, the world is good and it serves a good purpose. They do not deny that the world is a mental structure and that ultimately all is one, but they see and say that the structure has meaning and serves a supremely desirable purpose. What we call the will of God is not a capricious whim of a playful deity, but the expression of an absolute necessity to grow in love and wisdom and power, to actualize the infinite potentials of life and consciousness. Just as a gardener grows flowers from a tiny seed to glorious perfection, so does God in his own garden grow. Among other things, men to supermen who know and love and work along with him. When God takes rest, those whose growth was not completed become unconscious for a time, while the perfect ones, who have gone beyond all forms and contents of consciousness, remain aware of the universal silence. When the time comes for the emergence of a new universe, the sleepers wake up and their work starts. The more advanced wake up first and prepare the ground for the less advanced, who thus find forms and patterns of behavior suitable for their further growth. Thus runs the story. The difference with your teaching is this. You insist that the world is no good and should be shunned. They say that distaste for the world is a passing stage, necessary yet temporary, and is soon replaced by an all-pervading love and a steady will to work with God. Maharaj. All you say is right for the outgoing path. For the path of return, negating oneself is necessary. My stand I take where nothing is, words do not reach there, nor thoughts. To the mind it is all darkness and silence. Then consciousness begins to stir and wakes up the mind, which projects the world, built of memory and imagination. Once the world comes into being, all you say may be so. It is in the nature of the mind to imagine goals, to strive towards them, to seek out means and ways, to display vision, energy, and courage. These are divine attributes, and I do not deny them, but I take my stand where no difference exists, where things are not, nor the minds that create them. There I am at home. Whatever happens does not affect me. Things act on things. That is all. Free from memory and expectation, I am fresh, innocent, and wholehearted. Mine is the great worker, and it needs rest. Needing nothing, I'm unafraid. Whom should I be afraid of? There is no separation. There are not separate selves. There is only one self, the supreme reality in which the personal and the impersonal are one. Questioner. All I want is to be able to help the world. Maharaj. Who says you cannot help? You made up your mind about what help means and needs, and got yourself into a conflict between what you should and what you can, between necessity and ability. Questioner. But why do we do so? Maharaj. Your mind projects a structure and you identify yourself with it. It is the nature of desire to prompt the mind to create a world for its fulfillment. Even a small desire can start a long line of action. What about a strong desire? Desire can produce a universe. Its power are miraculous. Just as a small matchstick can set a huge forest on fire, so does a desire light the fires of manifestation. The very purpose of creation is the fulfillment of desire. The desire may be noble or ignoble. Space is very neutral. One can fit it with what one likes. You must be very careful as to what you desire. And as to the people you want to help, they are in their respective worlds for the sake of their desires. There is no way of helping them except through their desires. You can only teach them to have right desires so that they may rise above them and be free from the urge to create and recreate worlds of desires, abodes of pain and pleasure. Questioner. One day must come when the show is wound up. A man must die. The universe must come to an end. Maharaj. Just as a sleeping man forgets all and wakes up for another day, or he dies and emerges into another life, so do the worlds of desire and fear dissolve and disappear. But the universal witness, the Supreme Self, never sleeps and never dies. Eternally the great heart beats, and at each beat, a new universe comes into being. Questioner. Is he conscious? Maharaj. He is beyond all that the mind conceives. He is beyond being and not being. He is the yes and the no to everything, beyond and within, creating and destroying, unimaginably real. Questioner. God and the Mahatma, are they one or two? Maharaj. They are one. Questioner. There must be some difference. Maharaj. God is the all-doer. The Jnani is a non-doer. God himself does not say, I am doing all. To him, things happen by their own nature. To the Jnani, all is done by God. He sees no difference between God and nature. Both God and the Jnani know themselves to be the immovable center of the movable, the eternal witness of the transient. The center is a point of void, and the witness a point of pure awareness. They know themselves to be nothing. Therefore, nothing can resist them. Questioner. How does this look and feel in your personal experience? Maharaj. Being nothing, I am all. Everything is me, everything is mine. Just as my body moves by my mere thinking of the movement, so do things happen as I think of them. Mind you, I do nothing. I just see them happen. Questioner. Do things happen as you want them to happen, or do you want them to happen as they happen? Maharaj. Both. I accept and am accepted. I am all, and all is me. Being the world, I am not afraid of the world. Being all, what am I to be afraid of? Water is not afraid of water, nor fire of fire. Also, I am not afraid because I am nothing that can experience fear or can be in danger. I have no shape or name. It is attachment to a name and shape that breeds fear. I am not attached. I am nothing, and nothing is afraid of nothing. On the contrary, everything is afraid of nothing, for when a thing touches nothing, it becomes nothing. It is like a bottomless well. Whatever falls into it disappears. Questioner. Isn't God a person? Maharaj. As long as you think of yourself as a person, He too is a person. When you are all, you see Him as all. Questioner. Can I change facts by changing my attitude? Maharaj. The attitude is the fact. Take anger. I may be furious, pacing up and down the room. At the same time, I know what I am, a center of wisdom and love, an atom of pure existence. All subsides, and the mind merges into silence. Questioner. Still, are you angry sometimes? Maharaj. With whom am I to be angry, and for what? Anger came and dissolved on my remembering myself. It is all a play of gunas, qualities of cosmic matter. When I identify myself with them, I am their slave. When I stand apart, I am their master. Questioner. Can you influence the world by your attitude? By separating yourself from the world, you lose all hope of helping it? Maharaj. How can it be? All is myself. Can't I help myself? I do not identify myself with anybody in particular, for I am all, both the particular and the universal. Questioner. Can you then help me, the particular person? Maharaj. But I do help you always from within. Myself and yourself are one. I know it, but you don't. That is all the difference, and it cannot last. Questioner. And how do you help the entire world? Maharaj. Gandhi is dead, yet his mind pervades the earth. The thought of a Jnani pervades humanity and works ceaselessly for good. Being anonymous, coming from within, it is all the more powerful and compelling. That is how the world improves, the inner aiding and blessing the outer. When a Jnani dies, he is no more in the same sense in which a river is no more when it emerges in the sea. The name and the shape are no more, but the water remains and becomes one with the ocean. When a Jnani joins the universal mind, all his goodness and wisdom become the heritage of humanity and uplift every human being. Questioner. We are attached to our personality, our individuality, our being. Unlike others, we value very much. You seem to denounce both as useless. You're unmanifested. Of what use is it to us? Maharaj. Unmanifested, manifested, individuality, personality, all of these are mere words, points of view, mental attitudes. There is no reality to them. The real is experienced in silence. You cling to personality, but you are conscious of being a person only when you are in trouble. When you are not in trouble, you do not think of yourself. Questioner. You did not tell me the uses of the unmanifested. Maharaj. Surely, you must sleep in order to wake up. You must die in order to live. You must melt down to shape anew. You must destroy to build, annihilate before creation. The Supreme is the universal solvent. It corrodes every container. It burns through every obstacle. Without the absolute denial of everything, the tyranny of things would be absolute. The Supreme is the great harmonizer, the guarantee of the ultimate and perfect balance of life and freedom. It dissolves you and thus reasserts your true being. Questioner. It is all well on its own level, but how does it work in daily life? Maharaj. The daily life is life of action. Whether you like it or not, you must function. Whatever you do for your own sake accumulates and becomes explosive. One day it goes off and plays havoc with you and your world. When you deceive yourself that you work for the good of all, it makes matters worse. For you should not be guided by your own ideas of what is good for others. A man who claims to know what is good for others is dangerous. Questioner. How is one to work then? Maharaj. Neither for yourself nor for others, but for the work's own sake. A thing worth doing is its own purpose and meaning. Make nothing a means to something else. Bind not. God does not create one thing to serve another. Each is made for its own sake. Because it is made for itself, it does not interfere. You are using things and people for purposes alienating them, and you play havoc with the world and yourself. Questioner. Your real being is all the time with us, you say. How is it that we do not notice it? Maharaj. Yes, you are always the Supreme, but your attention is fixed on things, physical or mental. When your attention is off a thing and not yet fixed on another, in the interval you are pure being. When through the practice of discrimination and detachment you lose sight of sensory and mental states, pure being emerges as the natural state. Questioner. How does one bring to an end this sense of separateness? Maharaj. By focusing the mind on I am, on the sense of being. I am so and so dissolves. I am a witness only remains, and that too submerges in I am all. Then the all becomes the one, and the one, yourself, not to be separate from me. Abandon the idea of a separate I, and the question of whose experience will not arise. Questioner. You speak from your own experience. How can I make it mine? Maharaj. You speak of my experience as different from your experience because you believe we are separate, but we are not. On a deeper level, my experience is your experience. Dive deep within yourself, and you will find it easily and simply. Go in the direction of I am. I am that. Talks with Sri Nisargadatta Maharaj. Chapter 25. Hold on to I am. Self-forgetting is inherent in self-knowing. Consciousness and unconsciousness are two aspects of one life. They coexist. To know the world, you forget the self. To know the self, you forget the world. Cling to one thing that matters. Hold on to I am, and let go of all else. This is sadhana. Questioner. Are you ever glad or sad? Do you know joy and sorrow? Maharaj. Call them as you please. To me, they are states of mind only, and I am not the mind. Questioner. Is love a state of mind? Maharaj. Again, it depends on what you mean by love. Desire is, of course, a state of mind, but the realization of unity is beyond mind. To me, nothing exists by itself. All is the self with a capital S. All is myself. To see myself in everybody and everybody in myself is certainly love. Is most certainly love. Question. When I see something pleasant, I want it. Who exactly wants it? Is it the self or the mind? Maharaj. The question is wrongly put. There is no who. There is desire, fear, anger, and the mind says, this is me, this is mine. There is no thing which could be called me or mine. Desire is a state of the mind, perceived and named by the mind. Without the mind perceiving and naming, where is desire? Questioner. But is there such a thing as perceiving without naming? Maharaj. Of course, naming cannot go beyond the mind, while perceiving is consciousness itself. Questioner. When somebody dies, what exactly happens? Maharaj. Nothing happens. Something becomes nothing. Nothing was. Nothing remains. Questioner. Surely there is a difference between the living and the dead. You speak of the living as dead and of the dead as living. Maharaj. Why do you fret at one man dying and care little for the millions dying every day? Entire universes are imploding and exploding every moment. Am I to cry over them? One thing is quite clear to me. All that is lives and moves and has its being in consciousness. And I am in and beyond that consciousness. I am in it just as the witness. I am beyond it as being. Questioner. Surely you care when your child is ill, don't you? Maharaj. I do not get flustered. I just do the needful. I do not worry about the future. The right response to every situation is in my nature. I do not stop to think what to do. I act and move on. Results do not affect me. I do not even care whether they are good or bad. Whatever they are, they are. If they come back to me, I deal with them afresh. Or rather, I happen to deal with them afresh. There is no sense of purpose in my doing anything. Things happen as they happen, not because I make them happen, but it is because I am that they happen. In reality, nothing ever happens. When the mind is restless, it makes Shiva dance like restless waters of the lake make the moon dance. It is all appearance due to wrong ideas. Questioner. Surely you are aware of many things and behave according to their nature. You treat a child as a child and an adult as an adult. Maharaj. Just as the taste of salt pervades the great ocean, and every single drop of seawater carries the same flavor, so every experience gives me the touch of reality, the ever-fresh realization of my own being. Questioner. Do I exist in your world as you exist in mine? Maharaj. Of course, you are and I am, but only as points in consciousness. We are nothing apart from consciousness. This must be well grasped. The world hangs on the thread of consciousness. No consciousness, no world. Questioner. There are many points in consciousness. Are there as many worlds? Maharaj. Take dream for example. In a hospital, there may be many patients, all sleeping, all dreaming, each dreaming his own private personal dream, unrelated, unaffected, but having one single factor in common, illness. Similarly, we have divorced ourselves in our imagination from the real world of common experience and enclosed ourselves in a cloud of personal desires and fears, images and thoughts, ideas and concepts. Questioner. This I can understand, but what is the cause of the tremendous variety of the personal worlds? Maharaj. The variety is not so great. All the dreams are superimposed over a common world. To some extent, they shape and influence each other. The basic unity operates in spite of all. At the root of it all lies self-forgetfulness, not knowing who I am. Questioner. To forget one must know. Did I know who I am before I forgot it? Maharaj. Of course, self-forgetting is inherent in self-knowing. Consciousness and unconsciousness are two aspects of one life. They coexist. To know the world, you forget the self, and to know the self, you forget the world. What is the world after all? A collection of memories. Cling to one thing that matters. Hold on to I am, and let go of all else. This is sadhana. In realization, there is nothing to hold on to and nothing to forget. Everything is known. Nothing is remembered. Questioner. What is the cause of forgetting? Maharaj. There is no cause because there is no forgetting. Mental states succeed one another and each obliterates the previous one. Self-remembering is one mental state and self-forgetting is another. They alternate like day and night. Reality is beyond both. Questioner. Surely there must be a difference between forgetting and not knowing. Not knowing needs no cause. Forgetting presupposes previous knowledge and also the tendency or ability to forget. I admit I cannot inquire into the reason for non-knowing, but forgetting must have some ground. Maharaj. There is no such thing as not knowing. There is only forgetting. What is wrong with forgetting? It is as simple as to forget as to remember. It is as simple to forget as to remember. Questioner. Is it not a calamity to forget oneself? Maharaj, as bad as to remember oneself continuously, there is a state beyond forgetting and not forgetting, a natural state. To remember, to forget, these are all states of mind, thought-bound, world-bound. Take, for example, the idea of being born. I am told I was born. I do not remember. I am told I shall die. I do not expect it. You tell me I have forgotten or I lack imagination, but I just cannot remember what never happened, nor expect the patently impossible. Bodies are born and bodies die. But what is it to me? Bodies come and go and in consciousness, and consciousness itself has its roots in me. I am life, and mine are mind and body. Question. You say at the root of the world is self-forgetfulness. To forget, I must remember. What did I forget to remember? I have not forgotten that I am. Maharaj, this I am may also be part of the illusion. Questioner, how can it be? You cannot prove to me that I am not. Even when convinced that I am not, I am. Maharaj, reality can neither be proved nor disproved. Within the mind you cannot. Beyond the mind you need not. In the real, the question, what is real, does not arise. The manifested, saguna, and the unmanifested, naguna, are not different. Questioner, in that case, all is real. Maharaj, I am all. As myself, all is real. Apart of me, nothing is real. Questioner, I do not feel that the world is the result of a mistake. Maharaj, you may say so only after a full investigation, not before. Of course, when you discern and let go of all that is unreal, what remains is real. Questioner, does anything remain? Maharaj, the real remains, but don't be misled by words. Questioner, since time immemorial, during innumerable births, I build and improve and beautify my world. It is neither perfect nor unreal. It is a process. Maharaj, you are mistaken. The world has no existence apart from you. At every moment, it is but a reflection of yourself. You create it, you destroy it. Questioner, and build it again, improved? Maharaj, to improve it, you must disprove it. One must die to live. There is no rebirth except through death. Questioner, your universe may be perfect. My personal universe is improving. Maharaj, your personal universe does not exist by itself. It is merely a limited and distorted view of the real. It is not the universe that needs improving, but your way of looking. Questioner, how do you view it? Maharaj, it is a stage on which a world drama is being played. The quality of performance is all that matters, not what the actors say and do, but how they say and do it. Questioner, I do not like this lila play idea. I would rather compare the world to a work yard in which we are the builders. Maharaj, you take it too seriously. What is wrong with play? You have a purpose only as long as you are not complete, Purna. Until then, completeness, perfection is the purpose. But when you are complete in yourself, fully integrated within and without, then you enjoy the universe. You do not labor at it. To the disintegrated, you may seem to be working hard, but that is their illusion. Sportsmen seem to make tremendous efforts, but their sole motive is to play and display. Questioner. Do you mean to say that God is just having fun? That he is engaged in purposeless action? Maharaj. God is not only true and good, he is also beautiful. He creates beauty for the joy of it. Questioner. Well, then beauty is his purpose. Maharaj. Why do you introduce purpose? Purpose implies movement, change, a sense of imperfection. God does not aim at beauty. Whatever he does is beautiful. Would you say that a flower is trying to be beautiful? It is beautiful by its very nature. Similarly, God is perfection itself, not an effort at perfection. Questioner. Purpose fulfills itself in beauty. Maharaj. What is beautiful? Whatever is perceived blissfully is beautiful. Bliss is the essence of beauty. Questioner. You speak of Sat Chit Ananda. That I am is obvious. That I know is obvious. That I am happy is not all. That I am happy is not at all obvious. Where has my happiness gone? Maharaj. Be fully aware of your own being, and you will be in bliss consciously. Because you take your mind off yourself and make it dwell on what you are not, you lose your sense of well-being, of being well. Questioner. There are two paths before us. The path of effort, Yoga Magga, and the path of ease, Bhoga Magga. Both lead to the same goal, liberation. Maharaj. Why do you call Bhoga a path? How can ease bring you perfection? Questioner. The perfect renouncer, yogi, will find reality. The perfect enjoyer, bhogi, also will come to it. Maharaj. How can it be? Aren't they contradictory? Questioner. The extremes meet. To be a perfect bhogi is more difficult than to be a perfect yogi. I am a humble man and cannot venture judgments of value. Both the yogi and the bhogi, after all, are concerned with the search for happiness. The yogi wants the permanent. The bhogi is satisfied with the intermittent. Often, the bhogi strives harder than the yogi. Maharaj. What is your happiness worth when you have to strive and labor for it? True happiness is spontaneous and effortless. Questioner. All beings seek happiness. Only the means differ. Some seek within and are therefore called yogis. Some seek without and are condemned as bhogis. Yet they need each other. Maharaj. Pleasure and pain alternate. Happiness is unshakable. What you can seek and find is not the real thing. Find what you have never lost. find the inalienable